Well, good morning and welcome to the opening of Pikeville Medical Center's primary care practice and building. This beautiful building you see behind you began as our IT building, and actually the second floor houses all the IT equipment. And as the community needs grew, not too long ago, we decided we were going to have to make a change for the plans of this building. The first floor was going to house our IT staff, but we had to make a change, and what you're going to see today is our primary care clinic offices. And actually, after looking at it, it's really beautiful. I think it's a different feel for our community. I think it matches exactly what we do in our hospital. At least as good as the building, what you're going to find today are the physicians that are going to be working in it. And we have two of those, and I know they're going to speak, but I'll tell you a little bit more about them than they will. Dr. Shartliff is our newest primary care physician here, and he's a well-trained boy. He's trained in our facility, and he's a local guy, and I think he's going to do incredible in the community. And then Dr. Gadaru is also a physician who's been here with us for a few years. And I give her a hard time because her husband is actually a pediatrician here, and until I met her, I always told him he was the nicest physician that we have in the hospital. But actually, that's not true. She's the nicest physician that we have in the hospital. And over the last little bit, I think she takes care of all my family all of a sudden, too. But anyway, I think you're going to see an incredible structure, and you're going to see the commitment and the direction that Pikeville Medical Center is going, not only here but in other communities in the region. Randy, can I ask you to open us up with prayer?
Thank you, Doctor. Let's pray. Savior God, your work through your Son Jesus imparts to us all a concern for health and healing. May the opening of this new space help us as we continue this ministry of caring for the ever-present need for healing. Bless the building, its staff, and most importantly, the patients who present themselves here. Amen.
Well, good morning. Before I get started, and I know most of you have sat down, the board members that are here, if you don't mind, stand up for just a moment to be recognized. You know, I wanted to start out by recognizing the board members because of this investment that's been made for this community. And it's not just this investment, but it's investment after investment after investment. You know, I was joking with my good friend, Daryl Maynard, back in the back, who always is at these events to support the hospital. But I was joking with him about the fourth or fifth ribbon cutting. He asked me if this was during the week. And what that really signifies is over $50 million of investments being made in this community and the surrounding communities to ensure that health care for the people in the mountains is not only at the premier, at the best it can be, but also in facilities that really represent our community and certainly the region. We are extremely proud of the investments that we've made over the past couple of years, especially because of what they mean. Again, being able to keep people close to home is extremely important, but not just close to home, but with physicians that you're going to be ready to meet here in just a minute, the quality of care that they are able to deliver for this community is second to none. And especially not just at the facility that you'll be able to walk here in a minute, but also in a location that is so close to the hospital and so convenient to the downtown area. You know, when you look at the millions and millions of investments that have been made at the hospital, just looking, obviously, it's not the prettiest sight as you're looking forward right now, but it really is to us because what that represents is a $32 million investment to the Heart Institute. You know, when you look at the problems that we have in this community and throughout our region, having facilities such as this is extremely important. It's important and it's well-deserved. You know, too often when I grew up in this area and you know, looking at the first building, I remember waiting in the emergency room, and I've told this story many times of you that grew up in the area and having a payphone out front to have to pick it up and page or to ask what family's there to be able to get an update of what the condition that somebody was in. But then also you knew often that if you did have some type of illness that you were going to be sent away outside of the area. Now we have facilities that are, again, I'll say it once, I'll say it again over and over, that are absolutely second to none. So this is a small representation of what Pikeville Medical Center represents and where we're heading for now, today and into the future. So we're extremely proud of today's opening because it's not just about the facility and the doctors, it's the foundation of where really healthcare starts, is having a great primary care physician in a location that's convenient and close to home. So we appreciate it. We're excited. I'm going to turn it over to Ron and let him come up and say a few words. But before that I do also, I want to recognize too, Senator Wheeler, I appreciate you coming out, and would like for you to come up and say a word or two before Ron does, if you don't mind.
Well, I think I can't do much better than Donovan as to the importance of Pikeville Medical Center for this region. Since we have suffered in the last 10 years with the downturn of the coal industry, Pikeville Medical Center has been a beacon for our young people that gives them hope of having good-paying jobs in the region. And in addition to providing the excellent care that Donovan described here for the people of the mountains. Pikeville Medical Center is a special place to me. As many of you all know, my father has served here as an ophthalmologist performing surgery for the past 34 years. I can remember coming over as a small child when this was the physician's parking lot and going into what I thought was the big building in the back, and to see what it's become nowadays is truly amazing. And you know, I talk to my father regularly. I think the leadership of the current board and Donovan, he's just been wonderfully pleased with the great new changes that have been made that benefit both the physicians and the patients. And I am so happy to be here today to share this moment with you. So thank you very much.
Thanks again. Again, I want to introduce Ron Burchett, the director, excuse me, allergies. I may be, between the scissors being up here and these allergies, I may be the first patient. But Ron needs no introduction. You know, this is a gentleman that has given his all to this organization, that has served not only on the board, but over the last couple of years in a leadership role that was desperately needed. And a lot of these investments that you're seeing throughout our community as part of Pikeville Medical Center with our name and banner over the heading is because of Ron and this board of directors. I can't thank you enough for the support that you've given to me and to the staff, and for allowing us to make investments such as this for the people that it means so much to. So at this time, I would ask Ron to come up and say a few words.
Donovan mentioned my cousin Darrell that's in the audience here. I tell people that occasionally that Pike County is covered in 1/4 coal and 3/4 cousins of Darrell and myself. We have relatives all over, not only here. I'll date myself a little bit now and tell you that about 25 years ago, I came on to the board of the medical center along with John there and Joe Nail. And we were at that time at one of the many crossroads that this facility has occasioned. And at that time, one of several times, in fact, that we struggled with the question of what kind of hospital we were going to be. Were we going to be a hospital that just fixed broken arms and delivered babies and take out gallbladders, or were we going to be a hospital that grew and provided services here that were not previously available and that people had to leave here and go to other places to get? And probably not by any formal motion, but we, as an organization, decided that we wanted to be more than that. We wanted to grow. But we didn't always grow in the right way. Growing a hospital is like growing your body. Everything that looks good is not good for you. And we tried some things that didn't always work out the best. Sometimes we took 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Or sometimes we took 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. But we have entered a phase now, thankfully, with the type of administrators that we have, and particularly the organization that we have, the organizational structure I'm talking about that myself and others on the board wanted for a long time, that we are able to do what I call measured growth. And that is, we look at the community and we see what kind of service is needed in the community. Can we do that service? Do we have the resources, the physical plant, the space, and the people that would be able to do that? How much is that going to cost? The big factor. And where is that money going to come from? And so now, whenever you see a facility like this and others that programs that will be rolling out in the future, both as employees and members of this community, you can be assured that this hospital is going to check those 4 boxes before we start those types of programs. And this is just one of those examples of that. We think it'll be an asset to this community, and we'll have others for you in the future. On behalf of the board, I want to thank all the members of the administration that worked hard to put this together, and we know it's going to be a success and a benefit to the community. And thank you.
Good morning. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Melissa Thacker. I'm COO of the Physician Practices. I can only say that I've been at this organization for more than half my life and probably couldn't be any more excited to see the growth in primary care that we're witnessing this morning. So I get the privilege and honor of introducing 2 fabulous physicians that are going to upstart this new primary care practice. First of all, we'll start with Dr. Genevieve Gudaru.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Janvi Gudaru, family physician. I started working at PMC in 2015 after my husband. He joined in 2014. He's a pediatrician, like Dr. Crum said. Thank you, Dr. Crum. That means a lot. I can go tell him. And I've been telling him. I know. Well, when we first came to the community, we loved the hospital, we loved the community and the services offered, and we wanted to be part of the growth of the hospital. So after finishing my residency at ETSU Johnson City, we moved here. We have nothing to complain so far. We have 2 beautiful children, and they love the community as much as we do too. Primary care has resurged as the center stage in medicine in the recent years, and I'm really proud that I'm part of it, and I can't be more proud to be part of PMC in putting that emphasis that primary care is really important. I promise I will continue to offer my services in growing together as a hospital in this community and put quality care in a Christian environment. Thank you.
And now for a physician that some of you may know, Dr. Robert Shurtleff.
I guess I'll start off by saying, of course, Dr. Crum would say that I'm really well trained since I did all of my training here, and he had a lot to do with it. I have lived in Pikeville for essentially my entire life, and having the opportunity to work at such a great place like Pikeville Medical Center, there really aren't any words for it. And the opening of this clinic shows that PMC is dedicated to the people of Eastern Kentucky, and they provide our patients with the very best facilities in the region, and I'm truly proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Carol, are you getting the ribbon ready? Well, before we officially open this, I'd also like to thank everyone that's here today, that's watching, all the employees. I'm sure this will be on Workplace, our kind of internal communication tool. I'd also like to give a big thanks to the staff that's getting ready to open this clinic today. The amount of work that goes into this type of a opening is unbelievable. I've been involved in a couple, and I watch a lot of hard work being done. I don't do much of it. But we do want to say thank you for that. You guys want to cut this ribbon?
Let's do it.
All right.
Docs, if we can get you to come up. Get here in a second. Board members,